Speaking of the Southeastern Conference, shoo. I said it earlier. Man, Tennessee fans had it. They were celebrating. Then, hey, Bud, where did it go wrong? Like, where in your estimation did Tennessee lose hold of the rope on this game?
Can I do the whole segment off my back foot like Joey Aguilar does?
And
all right, back foot analysis.
all right, if we're just ripping jokes right here, I was going to call him Ziggy Stardust because he just those moon balls, like Ziggy Aguilar. We keep working on it. But yeah, but the start was so fast, and it looked like we were going to have one of those games. Somebody in the CBS Sports Slack, it might have been Brad Crawford, but somebody mentioned the Jalen Hyatt Alabama game. It looked like we had seen one Tennessee wide receiver who was just going to take this game over. And this time it was Chris Brazzell. And we thought that was going to be it. But Georgia just hangs around. And even though that is 6 catches for 177 yards and 3 touchdowns, you end up letting this thing slip away. So I ask you again, Bud, where did this really slip away in your eyes?
I think you got to give credit to Georgia for staying in the fight throughout the entire thing. Tennessee has scored on 5 consecutive opening drives against Georgia, and Georgia has won all 5 of those games. So Kirby's very much within his rights to say, guys, we've seen this before. And on the broadcast, they literally talked about how we showed them a video pregame about how Tennessee usually scores on them early, and they have to keep their heads in the game. They have to stay in the fight. I thought early on Tennessee did a nice job with their tackles and tight ends of taking advantage of some of like the young Georgia edge players. And Tennessee was using play action pass really well. I think eventually Georgia was like, well, we don't need to honor some of this play action stuff quite so much because Tennessee's not actually running the football all that effectively on us. Our backers are doing a decent job. I mean, they ran for 125, but on 34 carries, like that's not, you're not gashing them with the run game there. And I think if you're like Georgia's coaches up in the box, you're like, okay, guys, he's hitting the wide open dudes, but they're also getting lucky as hell, like on that on the ball that Braswell caught, the 70-something yarder. Like the guy's beat. The ball is terribly underthrown. He gets up.
The first one, the one he fell down.
The first one, that's a bad throw. Like I know Tennessee fans on Twitter, and they're right to point this out. Like Nico would have overthrown that by 10 yards. Granted, probably so. But you know what? It's not like it was a good ball. If the guy is in phase, it's clearly caught, and the receiver did a great job to get open, to come back, to be interfered with, and catch it. But it's not a good throw. So I think if you're Georgia's coaches up in the box, you're like, is this really going to keep happening? Like, guys, some of this is good. Some of this is luck box, right? And we got to stay in the fight, and they did it. I think on the flip side, we talked a lot about this offseason, Georgia upgrading their receiver room. Hello. 11 targets for 142 for Branch and Colby Young. That'll get it done. They didn't have that last year. Last year, it was like, here's 11 targets for Arian Smith, who's a gadget guy. And Dylan Bell today, like that's an appropriate number of targets for Dylan Bell. Like, how about, 4? Cool. On some schemed up stuff. Like that's fine. He's not like a receiver you want to be a go-to guy. I thought Georgia's additions in the portal and getting Colby Young back were a real difference in this game compared to what they had last year.
I mean, when I've talked about USF the last couple of weeks and how they've been winning games, the one thing I've said is that it's not sustainable. What does USF have in common with Tennessee? It's running the same offense.
Yeah, sure.
Tennessee's start to this game was not sustainable. Like they got off to an incredible start because when it's working that way or you're getting some luck, bang, you're going to score big plays. Like there was a 72-yard touchdown to Brazzell, but Tennessee had 9 passing plays of 15-plus yards in this game. 6 came in the first quarter, 3 the rest of the game. They weren't really able to run the ball all night, so Georgia was able to just not have to worry about the run anymore because once they realized they could stop it, it was like, okay, let's fix what the hell we're doing on the back end and maybe stop falling down on these moon balls and stay in the damn play. And all of a sudden, the big plays that were there kind of shriveled up and went away. And now Tennessee was having to rely on trying to move the ball down, 8, 9, 10 plays to get a touchdown and have to rely on handing the ball off. And while they improved running the ball as the game went along, they just weren't able to run the ball all that effectively, as Bud mentioned. And just Georgia was just hanging around because Tennessee's defense, not very good. I mean, we saw it against Syracuse. It's just once the big plays shrivel up and the defensive backs stop falling down or committing pass interference, it stopped. That was really all that happened.
I thought the drive that really killed Tennessee here was after Stockton, after he fumbles, Tennessee falls on it. They got the ball at Georgia's 34. They immediately start they start the drive, false start, and then it's 3 straight run plays. And I was like, man, now would be the time for the kill shot. I would think, right? And 3 straight runs, field goal. They let Georgia stay in it there. And I get it. I don't know that I would have played it totally different. This is very much, Sunday morning quarterbacking, but that's the drive, I think, that allowed Georgia to stay in this ballgame. And to the point in the chat, yeah, Tennessee was down both starting corners.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like that, if they have both those guys in there, Tennessee probably wins the game.
I am not out on Tennessee.
No, I'm not out.
Out as far as what? Like, can win the SEC, or out as I was actually fairly impressed with how they hung around.
Yeah, no, I think that, I wouldn't pick them to win the SEC. I think they're still very much in the hunt, and I think they're still very much in the hunt for a playoff spot. And, we make fun of Joey Aguilar moonballs because they really
That's
are.
What I'm saying. Like we got off a lot of jokes early, and it's before we move on, I want to make it clear. I think that Tennessee handled itself well in this rivalry game and gave itself a shot where, you leave it up to the kicker. The kicker doesn't make it. If the kicker makes it, if you have a conversion on a 3rd down here, the margins of this game were so slim that I want to at least acknowledge that Tennessee played well enough to win this football game.
Yeah, and Joey Aguilar is clearly not a perfect player. He has plenty of faults. There's a reason he was available when he was and how he was. But he's also an upgrade on what they had at quarterback last year. I don't think there's really any doubt after seeing what he was able to do in this game. I mean, yeah, he had the turnovers. He got lucky on a couple of the touchdowns, but he also threw for 371 yards and kept this team in the game. So, he's not perfect, but he's better than what you had.